Welcome back to the Motivated Mind Zone. Glad to have you here.
And we are thrilled, as always, to have you join us for a deep dive. This one's specifically designed for you, the learner who needs, let's say, a critical shortcut.
That's right.
We're not just aiming for you to know more today. We want you to get how to apply that knowledge right away.
Exactly. That's the core focus. We're talking about transforming all that great knowledge you've gathered, the vocabulary, the grammar rules, maybe strategic ideas, and turning it into real, confident action.
Mm-hmm.
Today's deep dive, it really centers on the skill of confidence, especially when it comes to language learning. But honestly, these strategies, they're pretty universal.
They really are. We've pulled together a pretty comprehensive stack of sources, stuff from behavioral psychology, learning strategies that work, practical communication tips.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and our mission today is really to challenge that old idea that confidence is just something you're born with. It's not fixed. Instead, we're laying out the practical roadmap, the actual step-by-step strategies for building what these sources consistently call the confidence muscle.
And that muscle idea, that analogy, that's really the key thing to hold on to right from the start, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Confidence isn't some kind of, I don't know, magic gift some people get. It's a fundamental skill, something you can actually develop, strengthen through practice, just like training at the gym.
Precisely.
It really boils down to this internal commitment, believing in yourself, deciding consciously to try, even when you feel, well, nervous.
And whether you feel totally paralyzed by shyness right now, maybe in a Zoom class, or just a bit hesitant about speaking up at work, we're going to break down that process.
Yeah.
We'll show you that real confidence. It's about accepting you might feel vulnerable, but acting anyway.
So if you only remember one thing from this intro, let it be this: making mistakes. It's not failure.
Not at all.
It's just the necessary price you pay for growth.
Yeah.
It's non-negotiable, really. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about building that willingness to try, no matter if you might mess up.
Well said.
Okay, let's dig into this definition then. Because, a lot of people mix up confidence with arrogance, maybe, or they think it means being loud all the time.
Yeah, that's common.
But when you look across our sources, what emerges is something much simpler, actually, more internal, and, crucially, something you can manage.
It absolutely is. The sources, they define it first as trusting your own abilities. It's like an internal switch, flipping from can I to, okay, I can do this, I'll try.
Right.
It's that feeling deep down that says, I believe in me. I believe I can handle whatever comes next.
I think the most maybe relieving part of this is that confirmation. It's not an inherent personality trait. We touched on it, but it's worth saying again.
Definitely.
Nobody is born confident in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a baby learning to walk.
Mm.
They fall down constantly, hundreds of times, but they keep trying because they haven't learned that fear of being judged yet. Confidence is kind of similar. It's built step by step, day by day, small acts of courage.
And that loops us right back to that muscle analogy, which is, I think, really helpful here.
Yeah.
If you practice a physical skill, your muscles get stronger through, consistent effort, right? Micro-trauma and repair. Confidence works exactly the same way.
Huh.
The more you put yourself in a situation that's just slightly challenging, where you have to use that confidence muscle, even if it ends in a small failure or a mistake, the stronger and faster that confident response becomes next time. It gets more automatic.
That makes sense. And a great point from the material is how area-specific confidence is. That's a huge relief for learners, I think.
Oh, totally.
You might be incredibly confident giving presentations in your native language, or maybe you're a world expert in your job.
Right.
But the second you try to speak English with someone new, you just seize up.
Exactly. And that feeling, that freezing up, it doesn't mean you lack confidence overall. It just means you haven't built that muscle specifically for using the language actively.
Okay.
Recognizing that confidence is localized, It lets you target your effort where it's needed. You don't have to feel like you need to overhaul your entire personality.
Right. It's not this massive, overwhelming
Yeah,
thing.
it's permission, really.
Mm.
Permission to be great at your job and still be a total beginner, maybe a nervous beginner, at speaking English. And that's okay.
Okay. So before we get to the how-to, the action steps,
Yeah.
we really need to tackle these core myths, the big lies we tell ourselves that stop us from even starting to build that muscle.
Yeah, these are crucial. Myth number one, and it causes so much stagnation, is that fixed mindset idea.
You either have it or you don't.
Exactly. Or I'm just a shy person. That's who I am. That's just false. Chemically, psychologically, behaviorally, it's wrong. The sources just hammer this point home again and again. Confidence is a learned skill. It's flexible. If you adopt a growth mindset, you see your current comfort level as just the starting point, not your final destination.
And the second myth, this expectation of always feeling easy about it. Confident people never get nervous.
Oh, that's a big one.
It sets such an impossible standard. The research shows even top professionals, famous actors, world leaders, they often feel intense fear or nerves before they perform.
Absolutely.
What makes them different is they know how to use that adrenaline. They choose to act anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence isn't about not feeling fear. It's refusing to let fear call the shots.
That is the absolute key pivot point. It's mastering your response to fear, not eliminating the fear itself.
Right.
Which leads to myth number three, and this one hits language learners right where they live. If I make mistakes, people will laugh at me or judge me harshly.
Oh, that fear is paralyzing. It can literally trigger that freeze response we talked about.
Totally. But what the research actually finds is, well, the vast majority of people, especially native speakers, they respect the incredible effort it takes to learn a new language.
Really?
Yeah. They're focused on understanding your message, what you're trying to say. They aren't sitting there with a red pen grading your grammar. They're looking for connection.
That's good to hear.
In fact, some studies show that someone who speaks really well but sounds super hesitant and apologetic, they might be understood less than someone who speaks simpler English but does it clearly and with assurance.
Wow. Right.
And finally, myth number four. This goes back to that confusion with arrogance. Confidence means you have to be loud or aggressive.
Right, the pushy salesperson stereotype or something.
Exactly. And it's a total misconception. True confidence, it's an internal thing, a sense of self-acceptance. You can be quiet, reflective, soft-spoken, and still possess deep confidence.
How so?
Because it comes from being comfortable with yourself. It's like an internal thermostat, not an external volume knob. You own your voice, your message, whatever the decibel level.
Okay, debunking those myths feels really important. So now we get it. Confidence is manageable. It's buildable. Why then should a learner spend energy on building this bridge, instead of just, say, learning 50 more vocabulary words?
Because fundamentally, confidence is the catalyst. It's what makes knowledge useful. Without it, knowing stuff doesn't really change anything. Confidence lets us try new things, step into new situations, meet people who could, change our lives, pursue those dreams that actually require action. Without that inner assurance, people with brilliant ideas, amazing skills, they just stay silent, held back by their own hesitation.
I see that all the time. You imagine someone with a perfect business idea or a really crucial perspective on something complex.
Yeah.
But if they're too afraid to speak up, to pitch it, to risk the mistakes needed to make it happen, their talents just stay hidden. Confidence is kind of the vehicle that lets us show the world who we really are.
And specifically for language learning, this is exactly where the bottleneck happens. We see it constantly. Learners who have this huge passive knowledge base, they can read complex articles, understand lectures.
Right. They'll say, oh, I understand English perfectly.
Exactly. But the moment they need to actually produce language spontaneously in a conversation, the whole system just crashes. They freeze. And then they say, I can't speak.
And the core insight from the sources here is, well, It's pretty clear and maybe a little tough to hear.
Yeah.
The main reason for that freeze isn't usually a lack of words or grammar. It's the paralyzing lack of confidence to risk trying and maybe failing.
Which leads us right to this power statement that the sources present as basically foundational. You ready?
Lay it on me.
Confidence is more powerful than grammar.
Wow. Okay, let's unpack that. That's a huge claim.
It is huge. And what it means is you don't need perfect English, not even advanced English, to communicate effectively. What you need is the courage to start the attempt, to get your meaning across, to handle the mistakes that will inevitably happen.
So prioritize courage over perfect sentences.
Exactly. Learners need to shift focus. Courage first, flawless syntax maybe later, or never.
That feels incredibly liberating, actually. It takes off the pressure of hitting some impossible flawless standard.
Right.
I mean, objectively, every fluent native speaker made tons of mistakes as a kid, and we still make them now slips of the tongue, getting words mixed
All
up.
the time.
If your goal is communication, not perfection, then confidence gets you there way faster than just drilling vocabulary ever will.
And it affects more than just how you feel. It changes how others perceive you. When you speak with confidence, even if you stumble a bit or use really simple sentences, your message lands with more impact. People listen more closely.
Why is that?
It's the underlying belief, the belief that you have a right to speak, to take up that space, to share your ideas. That belief itself makes you more powerful, more persuasive.
So to wrap up this part, confidence is basically the single most important thing, bridging that gap between knowing stuff and actually doing stuff with it.
Yeah, the sources explicitly, repeatedly call it the bridge between knowing and doing.
So if you're a learner focused on really moving forward, you have to actively, systematically build this bridge.
No questions.
Okay, so if confidence is this bridge between knowing and doing, how do we actually build it? The sources use that great house analogy. You build confidence like a house, methodically, one brick at a time.
I like.
Yeah, me too. This is the really practical how-to part for you, the listener.
Yeah.
Let's break down these 6 steps.
Okay, let's start with the foundation. This first step is really the antidote to that performance anxiety. Step 1, start small.
Start small, okay?
This is all about micro successes.
Yeah.
Don't aim to give a flawless 30-minute presentation in English tomorrow if you're terrified today. That just sets you up for failure and reinforces the fear.
Right. So what does small look like?
The sources suggest things like just saying hello to the person at the coffee counter in English, or making eye contact and smiling at someone on the street. Or maybe committing to answering just one simple question in your next language class. Really minimal.
Okay, just one thing.
Yeah. And the power of this is a small success gives you an immediate little burst of positive reinforcement. Dopamine, right? And it gives you the psychological energy, the momentum to try again. You're literally showing your brain, hey, look, I can do this, which helps fight that inner voice saying you can't.
Makes sense. Okay, brick number 2.
Step 2, practice every day. This goes straight back to the muscle analogy. Repetition builds comfort. Familiarity reduces fear.
Right.
You're essentially trying to make speaking feel more like breathing natural, automatic, not scary. The more you speak, the more your brain just gets used to hearing your own voice using this new language.
Does it have to be with other people?
Not at all. And this is crucial. Daily practice doesn't need an audience. The sources really emphasize the benefit of talking to yourself in the mirror, narrating your day.
Like what?
Like literally, okay, I am boiling water now, or, I think I'll wear the blue shirt today. Just describing things. It's a totally low-pressure rehearsal. You're warming up those neural pathways, making the language feel ready and available for when you do talk to someone.
Okay, I can see that. So, start small, practice every day. What's the third brick?
Step 3, celebrate small wins. This is about observation and acknowledging progress. Confidence doesn't just magically appear when you reach some vague fluency goal.
Right, it's not like a light switch.
Exactly. It's earned by actively noticing and giving yourself credit for your progress.
Even tiny progress.
Especially tiny progress. So many learners skip this because they're only focused on the huge gap between where they are now and where they want to be eventually.
Yeah, guilty.
We all do it. But the sources insist. Track and celebrate even the smallest successes. Did you use one new word correctly? Awesome. Did you ask for directions and understand the answer? Fantastic. Did you just survive a short conversation without running away? Celebrate it.
Why is celebrating so important?
Because it sustains your motivation. It proves to your brain that the daily effort is actually paying off. It builds momentum.
Okay, those first three, start small, practice daily, celebrate wins, they seem focused on action and reinforcement. What about the next three?
Right, the final 3 steps shift focus a bit more towards mindset, the internal programming that really dictates success or failure long term. Step 4 is change your self-talk.
Ah, the inner critic.
Exactly. And this one might be the most powerful because it taps into neuroplasticity. Your brain literally treats your internal monologue like instructions.
Really?
Yeah. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm terrible at English or I'm just shy, your brain goes, okay, got it, and reinforces the behaviors that match that story.
So how do you change it?
It takes conscious effort, but it's simple. You catch the negative thought and you replace it. Replace I'm bad at this with something like I'm learning and I'm getting better every day.
Huh.
Or instead of I'm scared, try I feel nervous and I'm going to speak anyway. Positive self-talk builds belief. It gives you the power to push through that inertia. It reframes it from who you are, I am bad, to what you're doing, I am learning.
That's a key shift. Okay, step 5.
Step 5, learn from mistakes. This is about completely reframing failure. Stop fearing mistakes. In fact, you should almost hunt for them, welcome them as teachers.
Easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. But the sources are really strong on this. The speed of your growth is directly linked to the number of meaningful mistakes you're willing to make and learn from.
Yeah.
Think about anyone you admire who's really good at something. Every confident speaker, every expert, they have a huge pile of mistakes behind them. That's how they learn.
So a mistake is just feedback.
Exactly. It just tells you, okay, maybe don't say it quite like that next time. Or, that word didn't work there. Embrace them, and they lose their power to scare you.
Right. And the final step, step 6.
Step 6, surround yourself with positivity. Confidence, especially when it's new, is kind of fragile. It needs a safe place to grow.
What does that mean practically?
It means actively curating your environment. Listen to supportive stuff like this deep dive. Join language groups that are known for being friendly and non-judgmental. And maybe the hardest part, create some distance from people who constantly criticize you or make you feel small for trying.
Your environment really matters.
Hugely. Your social environment, your ecology, it massively impacts your willingness to take risks. You need cheerleaders, people who encourage trying, not people who punish you for being vulnerable.
Okay, so the 6 steps, like building a house. Start small, practice daily, celebrate wins, change your self-talk, learn from mistakes, and surround yourself with positivity. Build it on solid, positive ground.
That's the blueprint.
All right, let's move from the theory, the steps, to how this actually looks and sounds. It's one thing to talk about confidence, but can we hear the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
The sources actually detail this sort of role-play analysis to highlight the difference between speaking from fear versus speaking with assurance, even using the same simple English words.
And this is so important because it shows confidence isn't just what you say, it's how you say it. It's energy, intention, pacing, much more than perfect grammar.
Okay, so let's break down the traits of the unconfident speaker first, based on those examples. What does that sound like?
Well, the delivery is usually full of fear, right? You hear halting speech, lots of hesitation, filler words like, maybe apologetic throat clearing.
Yeah.
Phrases like, hello, my name is, often followed by really rushed speech, like they want to get it over with, poor breath control, and often self-defeating language like, sorry, my English not good, or even just giving up, English hard, me scared speaking.
So the whole vibe is fear, hesitation, almost apologizing for being there.
Exactly. Listeners pick up on that speed, the uncertainty. Often the voice goes up at the end of a sentence, making a statement sound like a question.
Right, signaling doubt.
Yeah, it basically invites other people to doubt the message too.
Okay, now contrast that completely with the confident speaker traits. The words might be identical, right? Hello, my name is Julia. I'm learning English. Nice to meet you. But how does it sound different?
Dramatically different. First, the projection is clear, steady, the tone is friendly, the pace is consciously slower.
Slower. Interesting.
Yeah, slower conveys control. There's a noticeable bravery in the voice. They use strong opening statements. They maintain a pretty consistent rhythm. And even if it's just audio, you get a sense of what we might call audible eye contact. Like they're fully engaged, open, not hiding.
And crucially,
Crucially, the second speaker isn't apologizing, they're just stating a fact. I'm learning English. It sets a clear, confident expectation without excuses.
so the difference really isn't the vocabulary. It's the energy, the clarity, the willingness to just initiate and be there in the conversation.
Precisely. And that's something you, listening right now, can practice immediately. Say that simple sentence. Hi, my name is your name. I am learning English. But really focus on delivering it slowly, clearly, with an assured tone. Feel the difference.
Okay, now let's get even more actionable. The sources provide these daily habits and specific speaking tips, things you can start doing, like today.
Yes, let's break those down. 5 daily habits for general confidence building first. These are kind of universal adjustments. Habit number 1, speak to yourself in English every day.
We touched on this, but make it a habit.
Make it a daily habit. It's mental conditioning, not just rehearsing words, but programming positive self-talk. Wake up, look in the mirror, state clearly, good morning. Today is a great day. I will look for chances to speak English with confidence. Hearing your own voice say positive things primes your brain.
Okay, habit number 2.
Stand tall and smile. This sounds simple, but it's rooted in physiology. Body language affects mind state.
The whole power pose idea.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. When you intentionally adopt a confident posture, sit up straight right now, shoulders back, lift your chin slightly. You send signals to your brain, I'm okay, I'm in control. It can actually help reduce stress hormones like cortisol and maybe even boost hormones associated with confidence, even if you feel nervous inside. Your body can lead your mind.
Interesting. Habit 3.
Do one small brave thing each day. This is putting step 1, start small, into consistent action. But it has to be intentional.
Like what again?
Raise your hand in that meeting. Offer one short opinion. Order your coffee in English. Ask a stranger for the time. Anything that feels just a tiny bit outside your comfort zone. Confidence is built purely through doing, not waiting to feel ready.
Got it. Habit 4.
Write down your wins every evening. This is absolutely essential for making those small successes stick, turning them into lasting self-belief.
Why writing them down?
Because it forces acknowledgement. It doesn't matter how small the win feels. Writing down, I used one new phrase today, or I talked to my colleague for 2 minutes without panicking, forces your brain to see tangible proof of progress. It fights that dangerous illusion that you're not getting anywhere.
Okay, that's powerful. And the last habit, number 5.
Curate your content environment. We mentioned surrounding yourself with positivity. This applies to your media too. Listen only to podcasts, read books, follow people online who genuinely lift you up, support your growth, protect your confidence investment. Filter out the negativity, internal and external.
Okay, those are 5 solid daily habits for general confidence. Now let's pivot to the 5 specific speaking tips. These are laser focused for language learners trying to get the words out.
Right. Tip number 1, speak clearly and slowly. This might be the single most powerful technique in all the source material.
Again, slower, not faster.
Definitely slower. Don't rush to hide your accent or because you're afraid of mistakes. Slow speech sounds controlled, thoughtful. Remember, people care way more about understanding your message than judging your pace or grammar. Clarity beats speed every time.
Okay, slow and clear. Tip 2.
Practice speaking out loud when alone. Use your home as your personal, zero-consequence practice space. Talk to yourself doing chores, driving, whatever. Narrate everything. Okay, now I'm chopping the onions. Wow, the traffic is really bad today.
Talking to yourself.
Yep. The more your own ears get used to the sound of your voice producing English, the lower the psychological barrier feels when you need to speak to actual humans.
Makes sense. Tip 3.
Use simple words with pride. Stop waiting until you've mastered fancy words like ubiquitous or pernicious or whatever.
Guilty again.
We all do it, but simple sentences like, I like the park, or that food was good, are real English. Native speakers use simple English constantly. Use the words you know well and say them confidently. Own that simplicity. It's clear, it's effective.
Okay, simple with pride. Tip 4.
Practice with a partner. And this is key practice without fearing mistakes. Find a friend, a language exchange partner, even just 5 minutes a day. That dedicated practice builds speaking muscle, but you have to reframe it. You're not auditioning, you're just exchanging information.
And a supportive partner helps.
Massively. The sources say a supportive partner, maybe someone also learning, can be one of the biggest assets for building that conversational confidence. Find someone safe to practice with.
Excellent. And the final speaking tip, number 5.
Visualize success. Before a situation where you know you'll need to speak could be a presentation, an interview, even just ordering lunch takes 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Imagine it going perfectly. See yourself speaking clearly, confidently.
Mental rehearsal.
Exactly. Elite athletes use it, performers use it. It helps condition your brain to believe success is possible, which can soften that initial wave of fear when the real moment comes.
Wow. Okay, the message through all of this habits and tips seems really clear.
Yeah.
You don't wait until you feel ready or perfect, because that day never comes.
Yep.
You just speak now. You apply what you know, you make the mistakes, you learn as you go. Active participation is the only way to get that real, lasting confidence.
That's the core truth of it all. And just to really bring this home, let's share a couple of quick stories from the sources. They really show how confidence builds up, cumulatively through those small acts of bravery we keep talking about.
Great. Let's hear them.
First, there's Julia's coffee order. It's such a simple, relatable story, but it shows the very beginning of the journey. Julia was described as incredibly shy initially, so nervous she'd plan out tiny interactions days ahead.
Whoa.
Her first big success, just ordering a drink. She took a deep breath, gathered all her courage, put on a smile to kind of mask the fear, and then slowly, clearly said, "Can I have a coffee, please?"
And what happened?
The barista just said, "Of course, anything else." Totally normal, neutral response. But for Julia, that non-judgmental moment was huge. It was external proof.
The sky didn't fall in.
Exactly. The interaction was fine. That tiny success gave her real internal evidence, the courage she needed to try something slightly harder the next day. And then again, her confidence wasn't built in a classroom. It was forged in these small, real-world moments that proved it was safe and effective to try.
That's a great illustration. What's the second story?
This one's about Amir's journey. Amir moved to a new country, totally terrified of spontaneous English conversations. He knew the grammar, like many learners, but he didn't have that confidence bridge.
So what did he do? Hide and study more books.
No. That's the key. His solution was intentional exposure. He found a local language club that was known for being friendly and supportive, and he joined it.
Brave move. How did it go at first?
The first few meetings were apparently pretty agonizing. He made loads of mistakes, wrong pronouns, mixed up tenses, pronunciation struggles. But the crucial thing, he kept showing up.
Why?
Because the environment was kind. He learned quickly that the group respected his effort, not his perfection. They were encouraging.
Ah, the supportive environment from step 6.
Exactly. And the result, through just showing up consistently, practicing, and having the courage to endure dozens, probably hundreds, of small mistakes, Amir's confidence it soared.
How much?
Within about 6 months, he wasn't just participating nervously, he was actually chosen to give a short speech to the whole club about his experiences moving there.
Wow. From terrified to giving a speech in 6 months.
Yeah, it perfectly shows how sustained practice and consistent courage, even when it's scary, are the raw materials you use to build real confidence.
Those are powerful examples. Remember Julia just ordering coffee and Amir eventually giving that speech. Every single person who speaks confidently now, including them, felt nervous once,
Hesitated.
made mistakes.
Every single one.
Every success starts with that one, maybe terrifying decision to just try.
So if you feel scared today, you're exactly where every successful speaker started. Your only job now is to commit to the process. Keep taking those small steps.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's just crystallize the main takeaways. 3 essential reminders, maybe?
Sounds good.
First, be kind to yourself, please. You're learning something incredibly complex. Mistakes aren't just likely, they're mandatory for progress. Cut yourself some slack.
Absolutely crucial. Second,
Practice a little bit every single day. Consistency is everything. Even if it's just saying one sentence out loud to yourself, keep the muscle working.
And third,
Be diligent about celebrating every small win. Actively notice your progress. Those little victories are the actual bricks you're using to build your confidence house. Don't ignore them.
perfect summary. And remember, confidence isn't some final destination you just arrive at one day.
Right.
It's a journey, a lifelong process. And honestly, you've already taken the most important step just by being here, seeking this knowledge, committing to growth. You're already on the path.
We've established pretty clearly today that confidence is the bridge between knowing and doing. So here's the challenge we want to leave you with, specifically for you, the motivated learner listening right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
If confidence really is like a muscle, one that gets stronger only through use, what is the single smallest, bravest action, the smallest weight you could possibly lift that you will commit to taking in the next 24 hours to strengthen it?
Just one small thing.
Just one small thing. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just take the next immediate step. What will it be?
That's a great challenge. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into applied confidence. Keep going, stay brave, and please keep actively applying what you know.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.